mara wa testiwa nematode. The nematode usually who are now out tasting nematode this one. Okay. The soil borne diseases. So like what Envirotech they do have that machine. We check out more more fast and how can you control it outly. But for Rona as a manually, like for example, farmer soap, we didn't use soil analysis that can also test the nematodes. But we can also give her advices based to the report what the soil it had and what she must do. Like and then Momo happy retest a soil pH. Like who ball soil pH again. Usually we know it must be 7.0 or whether maybe when it's too high to 7.0 to 14, meaning that the alkane acid is too high. You remember that. So meaning that how can we reduce the pH level on the soil before we plant? Rebalance young more pH.
You apply lime on the soil.
Lime again. So we need to apply a lime, a dolomite lime. So lime it can balance the pH actually. It does not reduce but only balance. You see, makwara dauli magamuslim more highway if you want. Let us something I send the soil so. So those are the limes, and then they want to balance the pH on the soil. So, but you cannot say no. You want to balance it before you do the soil analysis result of the soil. It's like low and a happy. Guys know what I get for, and they want to Boston. I got to turn it right or not discipline or whatever anything. So many you know who not discipline. You better get in moment how. But the customer not a magato, and then from there one not have flow. So meaning that you will make something complicated and then you won't find a good result. That's why we go in a halvalima, we got a thing because they never do the soil analysis outly. So those soil usually manage too much. So that's why it's very much important to check it. So anyway, it's literally this instrument of mine that can be used to collect such samples. Why is it looking into it? Soil auger again. Yeah. So we have different types of soil augers. There's this one, there's another one like maybe it's round. So they determine where are you collecting your soil. Anyway, you collect sanding, anyway, maybe the gram wanting it play. So this one can use them to place soil. The other one can be used maybe on the sandy soil. More but you it's round. Out there. So because myself I know how to collect the soil samplings and this training is yours. From then the demonstrator. And then from there, you will come also to participate to do what has been done. So then, is there any question before the toilet? No question. I want to pose. So then, okay, colleague, right now, so there's a 1 hectare. So if you see move how, you need to do some sampling on the 1 hectare. So you don't do maybe soil sample, maybe go 2 hectares, and then from there you say no, you're done with the sampling because you can't find the accurate data. So in a 1 hectare. You need to take 8 samples. Again. What is a hectare? If we calculate per hectare, how many meters?
100 meters.
100 meters.
100 by 100.
100 by 100, 1 hectare.
10,000 meters.
It's 10,000 square meters again. So these are the hectares out here. And then 0.5.
Half a hectare.
Yeah, half a hectare again. So this is you need to know. So when you collect the samples, let's say maybe 1 hectare, you must take 8 samples in 1 hectare. So let's say for example this structure is 1 hectare again. And then actually half a hectare, 1 hectare you can level ground. Out here, exactly the spot ground is 1 hectare. So what must you do when you collect the soil sample? You don't take 8 samples in one place. Because if we do that, we are not going to find a good result out here. So what must we do? You need to use a zigzag way when you collect your samplings. For example, when you check this soil, maybe with another part of this area, you can find this side is loamy, sandy, or this one maybe is sandy soil. I want to even sandy soil again. But when you can go or move apart here, you can find that it's different. Why? Because the structures of the soil are not the same out there. So it is determining what are the crops are you going to produce on the soil. For example, in loamy soil, we can plant something like maybe the veggies, with the tomato, the green papers. Because they're very good for drainage. But on the sandy soil, what types of the vegetable can we plant there? Onion. Onion again. So we know that we plant a root vegetable crop because they don't need any disturbance, but they need to form those buds so that can be a quality. But every night you are more sandy loam, meaning that you don't lose uniformity. At the end, it will be marketable. You have about class B or class C, So, but being a farmer, you need to make sure that you produce a first grade. So so that you make money and then it becomes sustainability. Outly, and then clay soil reveal ing mo yon. Clay soil. I think maybe we did that training here.
Bah,
No, but anyway, agriculture especially agriculture. Clay soil in soil again. Or something like that. So you see those type of soil, you plant a different types of vegetable. You cannot plant beetroot or clay soil because already it is harder and it's not easier to break, and then it's so it's very good, like maybe the heavy feeder, those who require more water, especially maybe the cabbage. You see, because the stem is too big and then they will need a lot of water. So we cannot plant beetroot go clay soil because we give you the tough work after harvesting. You still have to take it to wash it. Sometimes maybe we wash out the plant, it produce how they were rotten because they're still fresh. So anyway, before Cholapili, and then if there is no sample, I'm going to collect 8 samples. I want to use the bucket. You want to? So anyway, colleague, I'm going to do 8 sampling here in 1 hectare. So remember, when you do the sampling, maybe we can take one day in the corner there, and then the other one in the corner, and the other one in the middle, and the other one in the corner center of the middle, and then we'll do another one there in the corner, and then another one there, and then another one in the penalty area. I'm just giving you an example again. But if maybe you have a small garden, like maybe let's say for example, 30 square meters, illegally greenhouse that tunnel. So there's no need to know it must be a 1 hectare when you collect the sample. You can take some 8 samples there in the hectares because even the soil structures in that hectare it's not the same. So right now, not the remote home on a morning, and then with the and then the other one will do that side, and then the other one will do here, and then the other one will do that side, and then the other one will do in the corner. Again. And then they will be done. So let us make sure that we prioritize the time so that we will American and then we first appeal. So they will hold no one but if maybe more I can do now, and then we see the result today. Yeah, if maybe we have electricity because I have to charge it, and then it must be warm, and then so that can read the data here because you can see here in the bottom. The light, so light said in some more face again, and that can must work with my phone. The device is actually that's connected with my phone, and then it transfer data from here to my phone. So I do have the app for this scanner. So if maybe we have enough time, I can do that. But if we don't have it, I can share with her on Monday, and then can share with the timekeepers, and then the result is So when you do sample, remember, like maybe doesn't mean to take a sample you must have a soil auger only. Because it's almost 30 centimeters down here. So meaning that if it's all auger, it's 30 centimeters down. So what must we do? You can use a spade, take your sampling, and you must make sure that you have a paper. Even the demographically more now thing, all the details in farmers hope, and then from there little contact details and everything that is required so that we know this soil it comes from farmers hope. So the last fitagamo, Michelwari Nagamo over this area. Zonia this area Ruki. Yet to Hana again. Mutan question. Putting your related about the soil testing, preparation, why would do soil testing, why inspect it, something like that. I understand again. And then anyway, let's say myself I'm demonstrating once, and then the rest will be you who going to do this. So when we do the soil testing, must hold this soil auger like this again. And then you don't have to press it down, but you have to twist it so that can hold the soil. You understand again? And then we do it. Yeah.
Like the coordinates, you take the coordinates.
The what?
Coordinates.
Coordinator.
Like coordinates from where you're taking from, maybe from here. I could share samples more. So you don't coordinate when you're putting on the plastic.
Yeah, I'm going.
Go to coordinate.
Yeah. But in mine, I will coordinate this one and then the rest will be you. Yeah. You don't coordinate when you do it like this. You must do it like this, ne? You twist it. You don't have to press it down. The one again, come on, eh? Yeah. So how do you pull it out? How you pull it off? You must put it smoothly so that it's a more again. And then from there, you put it smoothly like this. So I want to know something anything more than it. And then we need a bucket. Can you open it for me?
So
usually maybe the bucket must be dry, né? Because remember, little soil cannot say that it cannot. Remember, you cannot collect the sample when the soil is too mud. So it must be moved. So this one is very good. It's not like maybe mud, but it's moist. So it's very good. And remember, sandy soil, it needs a lot of water. So even though I believe after once we're done with these things, it will need to apply more crawl manures. So that's why they're applying very crawl manures here. It's very good for NPK and it. But I did ask them, is this correct manure that need to be applied here in the field? That compost is still good for application, especially now. Why is it in there? For me, it's not good because it's not well decomposed. They're still in the green carbon-rich material. So when something is still not decomposed, you still have to bring the insects again. It's going to give you the problems once you plant your crops again. So the more when they water there, you don't with the insect, and then they're going to feed with leaf vegetable. So once you apply the chrome manure, you must make sure you well decomposed, especially the black one. They are very rich already. There is nothing there. So, but if it's green, when you water it, it will smell and then bring insects. And they are going to develop the nematodes. They are going to feed with root vegetables again. So, but anyway, that is good. But next time, let us make sure that we